Watch it now.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What a performance that was.
Wow, wonderful viewers out there. It's time for Sportsville. My name is George Aluo. We are set to give you the best of sports on TV, and my colleagues are here. I must tell you that baby of the house, Oluchi Tobechukwu, is here, and Tony Mwokoma Ubani is equally here. So I'm not a lone ranger. It's a loaded package as usual. Nigerian clubs are on parade. We saw Lobby Stars yesterday in South Africa, and this afternoon we'll be seeing Rangers International go against Salitas of Burkina Faso. Would they get it right after losing back-to-back to Etoile du Sahel of Ethiopia? And then we'll talk about Nigeria's list. ROHR has released the list of Super Eagles ahead of the Battle of Seychelles. It's a dead rubber anyway, but all the same, we'll have a loaded squad ahead of that game. All that on the show for you today. But let's take this break. When we'll come back, we'll start with top news as usual, and then I will introduce my guests. Don't go away. It is Sportsville. All right, welcome to the show. If you have just joined us, you've not really missed much. In fact, I'm just going to introduce my guests now, and let me start from my immediate left, where baby of the house is staging a comeback to the show. She was unavoidably absent last week. Oluchi, welcome to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George. It's good to be back, and a wonderful Sunday to our viewers at home.
And you are looking so sweet today.
Yes, you've commented earlier if today
off camera. Is today Valentine?
It could be a vow for me.
Okay, it could be vow for baby of the house. On that note, let me welcome Tony Mwokoma Okezie Yagazie Ubani to the show.
Thank you so much, George, and of course, thanks to our viewers. For Oluchi, every day is a vow.
Every day is a And we're very busy and very high in the studio here. Off camera, Tony was telling me that she looks taken away. I hope
you are very hard.
I hope evangelists will not hear that. Let's fire on all cylinders. Let's start with top news as usual. Let's tell you that the former Director General of National Sports Commission, talking about Hassan Yakmut, has been appointed Team Nigeria's chef de mission. That is the leader of delegation to the 12th All-Africa Games that will be taking place in Rabat, Morocco later in the year. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong, who made the appointment, said it was a recognition of Yakmut's contribution to sports development. You know, Yakmut has since been moved out of sports, but he is Nigeria's chef de mission.
Yes, a surprising announcement, I must tell you, because when you look back to history, when he left and the Minister of Sports came in, you know, they had a little issues about reconciling the money left behind. But I think at the long run, it is the interest that matters. I know Yakmut as an individual that is very transparent, and when it comes to accounting for monies dispersed, one shouldn't, you know, feel anyhow. I hope this time around, you know, his reputation and integrity will still stand by all. So it's a good one.
Okay.
That's not the first time that Yakmut is being chef de mission.
Yes.
You remember when we traveled last All Africa Games?
Exactly. In Maputo.
In Maputo. Yakmut was chef de mission, and it was one of the things administratively that Nigeria got very, very right. As in Yakmut in everything he does, just like Oluchi said. Yakmut is somebody that is very smooth, and he makes sure he sticks, he's a stickler to everything that he does, and that his watchword has always been discipline. So that's just one thing that Dalong got right, you know, despite you know, the political undertones to the appointment and all those things. Nobody can ask any question whether Yakmut is good for that position. As for that position, is right, and it's all, there is nothing bad in you know, mending fences, you know, because before you know it, the two of them will be heading back to Jos.
Okay, maybe this is a Lenten season for those of us who are Christians. Maybe this is one of the penance that this outgoing sports minister wants to do before he leaves office, knowing fully well that he has offended Yakmut, a thoroughbred sports administrator, not just a sports administrator, somebody who participated. He is not one of the outsiders in sports. He was an international athlete for this country, and he rose to become the Director General of National Sports Commission. So that's a good one, and we'll say congratulations to Hassan Yakmut. Away from that politics of sports, let's tell you that Rugby Africa has confirmed Nigeria to be the host of the Africa Silver Cup 2019 Pool A. That tournament will be coming up in Lagos in June, and Nigeria will be playing host to Madagascar, Botswana, and Ghana. The tournament, which will hold, as I told you, in June, is a huge opportunity to greatly improve the awareness of rugby in the country. Then I think rugby is one sport that is actually doing very well in Nigeria.
Absolutely, George. I remember when rugby came to Nigeria, people, were not too receptive to it, because when you talk about rugby, you're just looking at, South Africa, at least in Africa, in the continent, and Nigerians were not too receptive. But then we've seen the hard work of all the administrators, bringing rugby, and of course, pushing rugby. Rugby has not only just gotten roots in Nigeria, rugby is looking up to the sky, and before you know it, George, we'll just be winning a lot of laurels in rugby. And to me, particularly, I think the hosting of this championship definitely brings rugby to bear, and of course to spread its roots in Nigeria.
Okay, yeah, because this tournament is rugby's second-tier tournament, and it is the second one behind the Gold Cup, and the winners will gain promotion to the Rugby Africa Gold Cup, and they stand a chance to earn a slot in the World Cup in 2023. Away from rugby now, let's tell you that we are really thanking God here for Samuel Kalu, whose mother was kidnapped within the week, and the woman has since been released. Talk about Ozuronye Juliet Kalu. She was seized on February 27th by her abductors, but as we speak now, thank God that the mama has been released. Glory be to God. I think this is worrisome, the way kidnappers are now going after sportsmen and women.
It is very worrisome. It is not a good trend. It happened
Katsina
to
United coach was kidnapped. Now the mother of Super Eagles player.
Yeah, before was kidnapped. Mikel Obi's father not just kidnapped once but twice. And now we are also saying what happened to Kalu's mother. I think this is something that should be watched. And like I said the last time, I also believe that in most cases it is people that are close to these people that know them, that do this thing. It also boils down to the economic state of the nation. But I will also give kudos to the police, because all this while no lives have been lost. They've been doing their job, but I think everything must be done, to stop this trend, not just for sports people, but kidnapping. Stiff penalties, should be meted out on these people if they are eventually caught.
All right, thank God that Madam Ozuronye Juliet has been released. Away from that kidnapping story, let's tell you that shooting is something big is actually happening in shooting. This time not shooting by kidnappers, but shooting in sports. The National Shooting Sports Federation, NNSF, has announced a 4-day media workshop and competition, which will hold at the Package B at the Abuja National Stadium later this month. In fact, that seminar will run from the 28th to the 30th of this month, and the event is the second edition. It will be one that will see journalists learn the act of shooting as a sport, talk about shooting orientation, the competition itself, and at the end of the day, NNSF said they would be awarding certificates to deserving participants, and it is strictly for members of Sports Writers Association of Nigeria. So some of us will be heading to the classroom to learn shooting, Oluchi.
Yes, it's a good one coming from the Federation. While talking about it initially, you were talking about shooting not for kidnappers and stuff like that. That is one of the reasons reorientation will be given, that shooting is a mind game. Shooting helps you to concentrate. It helps you to be more focused. It's also enduring, when you are targeting. And it is a game, that helps the brain.
When you are targeting.
Yes.
I hope kidnappers will not
It's We use pellets. It's not bullets. It's pellets that you use.
Okay.
And we were supposed to have it, you know, a week before the elections, but now a new date has been given at the end of the month. Just like Tony Ubani, you know, is organizing for the Lagos Media Marathon. The Federation also thought it wise, when you are enlightening about the sports, you can come out and cover it, because most times if you do not understand the technicalities of a particular sport, the interest won't be aroused. So not only are we going to learn about the technicalities of the sports, we'll also be given opportunity to participate, win medals, and then get, at the end of the day, you be remunerated if you win a medal or not.
How much are you remunerating? Tony Ubani is putting 6 million naira on the table for Media Marathon. How much is coming out from shooting?
You are a typical Nigerian, George. You are always after.
How much is shooting putting on the table? Tony, 6
it's not
million
free.
is up for grabs.
By the time I go,
6 million.
6 million
Did
and
you hear
the other
him?
gifts.
Tony,
And even a car.
Tony, very good. By the time I go and come back with my medal, then you can ask me that.
Oluchi, absolutely. Talking about, everything is not about money. Yeah. But I think the opportunity that is going to give to the writers, you know, for them to hone their talents, get to know about the technicalities of reporting, and perhaps some people being shot like George.
Don't buy Tony and Oluchi there, but the important thing is that this is good work coming for sports journalists. The seminar in Abuja, fantastic, from Nigerian Shooting Federation, and the Media Marathon that will be coming up May 1 in Lagos, where all of us are warming up to go and compete and pocket Tony's 6 million naira. That's top news. Thank you for being part of the top news, and I say big thank you to my producer Tayo Ogunsheye for putting that together. We'll take a break now. We'll come back. We'll continue with the show. Don't forget, like we told you, the Super Eagles will be on parade in this month of March at the ASABA Stadium. But before Eagles, we'll talk about Rangers and the battle against Salitas this afternoon out there in Burkina Faso. It's still Sportsville. All right, welcome back. We are now on part 2 of the show, and we're talking about the Battle of Burkina Faso. Talk about Rangers taking on Salitas. Tony, we saw them very shambolic against Etoile du Sahel. They lost 2-1 in the first leg and lost 2-0 at the Cathedral. Any hope of Rangers qualifying?
Yeah, nobody expected the Rangers will fumble the way they did, you know, just back-to-back losses. And I remember that I spoke to Alfred Okoligwe, you know, who saw them off on Friday, you know, going through Abidjan before connecting to Ouagadougou. You know, I expect that Rangers must have learned their lessons. And indeed, it's a match that they must win if they have any hope of, you know, any hope of survival. And you know, if you look at Salitas themselves, they are not better than Rangers. You know, almost everything has fallen apart for them. So it's a match that everybody expects that Rangers must win. And also speaking with Christian Chuku, Christian said, quoting him, said that we are condemned to win that match.
Okay, we hope that Rangers are condemned to win the match, because the performance of Nigerian teams in the continent has actually been very, very worrisome over the years. And Rangers raised so much hope this year. We thought that we were going to get it right, but things fell apart against Etoile. But we hope that they deliver in this last chance they have in Burkina Faso. Away from club football, let's now talk national team football. And like we told you, Nigeria will be on parade, the Super Eagles against Seychelles at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba later this month. And GERNOT has released its list. You can see the full list there on the screen, starting with the goalkeepers Francis Uzoho, Ikechukwu Ezenwa, and Daniel Akpeyi. Ikechukwu Ezenwa is with Katsina United. He has since left Enyimba, and Daniel Akpeyi has since left Chiva United for Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa, and Francis Uzoho has equally moved. He is now with Cyprus club at Anosis. So, Oluchi,
Yes.
You've seen our goalkeepers.
Yes, no surprises.
The usual suspects.
Yes, no surprises. I think Janet Raw had to leave Oremade, the upcoming under-20 goalkeeper, for Imama to make use of in the under-23. For Kaizer Chiefs to say that they wanted Akpeyi, that means they have seen him week in, week out in South Africa. That means they see something good in him, and apart from one or two errors, he's been able to show the reason why he has moved club. And for reason why was it last week against Rivers United? You know, I was told that he kept very well and he made some good saves.
But
that
he
means
considered.
It was an away game. I mean, the goal wasn't actually his fault. So I'm just talking about you know, appearances and doing well for the three goalkeepers. Okay. Our top one, he has settled down in Cyprus, and the little issue he had has been swept aside, and we have a goalkeeper that has tasted the World Cup and is getting ready for the Nations Cup. So this match is just like a preparatory game for the Super Eagles. Okay,
away from the goalkeepers, let's go to the defenders. Olaoluwa Aina is coming in from Torino, Italy. Shehu Abdullahi has always been there. He plays his club football in Turkey. Valentine Ozonwafo is coming from Enyimba, one of the under-20 lads who saw him out there in Niger Republic. Chidoziema Waziem has always been there. Wilfred Trox Ekong, and then Leon Balogo, the two Oyibo Wall, and Kenneth Omero, fantastic player. He has been for Leganes out there in the La Liga, and Jamiu Collins, who is coming in from Germany. Tony, that is our defense line.
I think there was so much outcry, you know, before the list came out. You know, so many people, so much pressure, you know, from former Super Eagles skippers, I must say, talking about Yobo, talking about Egulavoin, talking about Chuku, you know, saying that it was an opportunity for you to invite fresh legs and, of course, to see in other departments that you could get players that will be waiting.
But Rua is not sticking to that. Look at that defense line.
If you look at that's exactly where I'm going to. I think Raw, in order not to appear to be too stubborn, he is, you know, and very good coaches are always stubborn. In order not to appear to disrespect these highly placed individuals that spoke in that line,
he just brought that's one player.
He brought Valentine, and I think it's not enough, George.
It's not enough.
As much as we want to win, George, we want to rebuild our football. You know, we cannot concentrate so much on bringing foreigners day in, day out when we have our league that is doing well, and of course when you know that there are some certain players, if you do not give them opportunity, just these players cannot be exposed. They cannot come up. They cannot have that confidence. You know, I listened to Yobu and I felt, you know,
it made some sense.
I felt there was this patriotism that was just oozing out from him. But anyway, there is nothing we can do now that we have Valentine or Ozonwafo.
Let's see whether
let's see if he can justify his position, if he's included, because it's just one thing to invite him, it's another thing to using him.
All right, GERNOT concentrating on the big boys there. Then in the midfield, same thing. Semi Ajayi is coming from England. Wilfred Ndidi, Ogenekare Tebo, John Ugu. They are all regular faces in Super Eagles, and in the attack, nothing different, no newcomers. Ahmed Musa will be the captain in this game because Mikel, the substantive captain, is nowhere near the team. Then Victor Osimhen, the young man from Belgium, doing very well for his club. And one other player that is doing very well that is on the list is Moses Simon. We saw him for Levante. I was really impressed with his performance against Real Madrid, and even against Leganes, where he played against his compatriot, talk about Omero. Then we have Henry Onyekuru, who is coming from Turkey, Alex Iwobi, Odion Igalo, and Paul Onuachi. Paul Onuachi is the only new boy. He is coming from Denmark. He has been doing very, very well for his club. Olichi, one newcomer in the defense, one newcomer in the attack. Yes,
like Tony had said, I would not want to really go intimate with the performance of these foes because Janet Raw has decided to play balls with the faces that is familiar with, and I think that is really isn't good when you want to look at especially the kind of opposition that we are playing Seychelles and a friendly match, you know, against Egypt. If the coach of the under-20 had not given Valentine the opportunity, you know, to play in Nami, I'm not sure he will be embracing that player. And even Enyi by his team had to make him to play his first match, you know, after that particular tournament. If you give players opportunity to play, you can see what they have.
Okay, that is Eagles list, and we hooked up with DOSU Joseph. Remember him, Dream Team goalkeeper, one of our Olympic gold medalists. He shared his thoughts with us on Sportsville. We'll have a way of bringing you these exclusive interviews. Let's hear from DOSU Joseph. Hello, DOSU.
Well, overall, I would say it's a very good list. I think the players invited worth it. They've been playing for their clubs week in, week out. Some are scoring goals. Some are doing very well in their clubs. And we have 2 new or 3 new players in that team that is giving opportunity, which I believe is a good one. Also, overall, I think it's a good list. Even though if the captain is not yet back, but he's doing very well for Middlesbrough, but I believe he will surely be called upon anytime he's ready. Mikel is doing very well for Middlesbrough. Iheanacho is having a little bit of injuries here and there, but anytime he played for Leicester City, he's done so well too, likewise for the national team. Everybody is looking for opportunity. If you're not there today, it doesn't mean you won't be there tomorrow. Yes, the coaches is trying his best to try other players too and see whoever that gives is 100% to the national team will be given opportunity. You can't write those 2 players away. They've done well for the national team. They're doing very well for their clubs. So as I said, the coaches is just trying 1 or 2 players again to see if they can fit into the national team. But Mikel, I think, and Iheanacho will surely be called back to the national team when the time is right.
All right, thank you very much, DOSU Joseph, for sharing your thought with us. That was a good one, and he said you had him there saying that his backs GERNOT list. And then we equally caught up with Daniel the Bull AMOKACHI. You remember him very well, the dancing Bull AMOKACHI. He equally spoke to us ahead of this game. Let's hear from Daniel the Bull AMOKACHI.
Yeah, well, I think it's what favors the coach. I think the coach knows who and who he needs for for his game plan, and I think with the league you'll see players that are injured or are not fit or are not playing. I'm sure most of them didn't make the league. And whenever you have a team in this generation, of course you need a spark of fire from young players, and especially 2 young boys who are doing very, very well. And I think it's a plus for us because moving forward, we need to look at the future because, players are aging and you need to keep imputing young players that will, blend into the team and make the team a bit stronger and put pace into the team.
Wow, thank you very much, Dan AMOKACHI, and thank you, DOSU Joseph, for speaking to us on Sportsville. Tony, you had both of them there.
Yeah, John, I had him, but I must tell you that Daniel AMOKACHI was on target, and that's exactly what we spoke on this platform, that we should give a lot of chance to some of these our players because we really need them in the future.
Okay, we need them in the future. The game against Seychelles, is only a dead rubber. We are through already to the Nations Cup. And 4 days after, this same set of players will be taking on the Pharaohs of Egypt in an international friendly out there at the SEYCHELLES Stadium in ASABA. So we hope to see the best of football when they come up, especially against Egypt. Mo Salah will not be coming actually because he's not on the list, just like our own Mikel is equally not on the list. But that will not take away anything from that grade A international friendly. Let's take another break now. My producer is telling me that time is not our friend. When we come back, we'll give you up the upcoming events and we'll be calling it today on Sportsville.
That's actually a conversion kick. My name is Aziz Ladiko and I'm captain of Nigerian national team Black Stallions in Kari Rugby Football Club. This is the game of rugby.
All right, welcome back. We're coasting home now, but let's quickly give you the upcoming events. Let's tell you that from March 12 to 15, we'll be talking about the burial of Chief Taiwo Ogunjobi, former Secretary General of NFF. The burial committee released a program just last week, and we'll say, may the soul of the one we call Seoul. Rest in peace. March 12 to 13, talk about the UEFA Champions League round of 16 return leg fixtures. We saw the drama that happened last week, and this week you talk about Man City taking on Schalke 04, Juventus against Atletico Madrid, Bayern versus Liverpool, Barcelona versus Lyon. And if you saw what happened last week, you can't just rule out any of these teams moving into the quarterfinals. Then March 14 to 17, the 2019 Players Championship will be taking place in USA. Then March 17, the Australian Grand Prix will be up, and March 18, talk about the Miami Open Golf Championship out there in the United States of America. That's the show. Let me quickly say a big thank you to baby of the house, Oluchi.
Thank you so much. I wish you love all through the week.
Amen. And to Tony, I say nice for coming to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George. You see that the Nigerian version of Otoge is, taking an international dimension in sports. With Ayers and
that was what Ajax to Real Madrid and the Santiago Bernabeu. Surprise one, I must tell you, 4-1 it ended, 5-3 on aggregate. Nobody gave Ajax a chance, but they just told Real Madrid that after winning the trophy 3 times back to back, it was time for you to go and sit down. Let other champions emerge. But that's the show. I hope you have enjoyed Sportsville. We'll see you next week. Bye bye and God bless.